Direct quote for you here. We must save the American family. That's the new rallying cry coming out of the Heritage Foundation, the conservative group behind the Project 2025 agenda. The Trump administration has drawn from Project 2025 for many of its policies. And now the think tank, known for advocating for small government and conservative economic policy, reportedly wants the government to intervene and encourage married couples to have more children. NewsNation weekend anchor Anna Koyman has the details here. Anna, people are talking about this. Heritage says we need to meet the moment. What exactly are they proposing here?
Good morning, Markie. Good morning to everybody at home. So, yes, the Heritage Foundation is known for advocating for small government. So many are surprised it appears to be pushing the government to get involved in family planning. Now, this is all outlined in a new draft paper that's been obtained by the Washington Post. And in the 5-page report, it allegedly calls for new government-funded savings accounts for most married couples, paid for by gutting federal child care programs like Head Start, cash bonuses for couples who have more children, and testing every federal program for how it impacts marriage and the nuclear family. In other words, if it doesn't promote their model of family, it could be cut. But the Heritage Foundation says these policies are not meant to penalize people for not having kids, just encourage them to do so.
But at the heart of this conversation is the question of what is best for children and how can we promote their flourishing in the United States. Parents who want to stay home and raise their children should receive that same funding to do so, just like parents who want to send their children to a daycare system receive funding to do that.
So the Washington Post says the new paper blames the American loneliness problem we know we have, and also these falling birth rates on what they call, quote, free love, pornography, careerism, the pill, abortion, same-sex relations, and no-fault divorce. Markie?
And Anna, this is about more than just policy. What are the possible political implications heading into 2026?
Yeah, we're already looking that way, aren't we? This is all really aligned with President Trump's push to boost birth rates and do what he calls rewarding traditional family values. Now, the Heritage paper reportedly argues that falling fertility is a crisis and requires federal action. But critics point out this plan excludes same-sex couples and non-traditional families. They also say it doesn't address the root causes for why Americans aren't having children.
People are still open to having kids, they're interested in having kids, but they want to have kids if they feel like they have a good life, they have a good job, they have a good future.
Yeah, so does this really say more about where we stand right now? Folks feel like they can't afford houses. They feel like they can't afford childcare for their kids. It's really not just about babies either. It's about a broader cultural and political agenda, Markie, that will be front and center in the midterms. And the debate comes down to this, it appears. Should government be in the business of picking which families count and paying them to grow?
Yeah, as you and I have talked about, childcare alone is astronomical. So a lot of people see that and say, yeah, I don't think so. Maybe another time. Anna, thank you. You can catch Anna Koyman every weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock noon Central.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.